Gurve Gaurachandraya Shri Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. First of all, I offer my humble obeisances at the divine lotus feet of my most worshipable spiritual master, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Shtotra Shatu, Shri Shri Bhakti Vedanta Shri Narayana Gosvami Guru Maharaj. Then I offer my humble obeisances at the divine lotus feet of Abhinna Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Shtotra Shatu, Shri Shri Bhakti Vijñāna Shri Bharati Gosvami Maharaj. And Om Vishnu Pada Shtotra Shatu, Shri Shri Bhakti Vedanta Shri Swami Prabhupada. Then I offer my humble obeisances unto the divine lotus feet of the entire Guru Parampara, and to the divine lotus feet of Srila Haridas Thakur, and to all the assembled devotees here, very senior devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Though I am thoroughly unqualified to even touch the glories of these transcendental personalities, because it is mentioned in the scriptures that without having the qualities of the devatas, you cannot glorify the devatas. You must have the same qualities. So I do not possess that. But still, just for the purification of myself, I ask this question to Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj ji personally, that I go out and speak at many places. People say I'm preaching, but what is the effect of this preaching? Because I'm not pure, right? I have my own limitations and faults and everything. Then he spoke that there are two types of preachers, two types of people who speak Harikatha. One, those who are absolutely pure. They speak for the pleasure of the Lord. When they speak, the words of theirs touch the lotus feet of Sri Radha Govinda within their hearts, and when it emanates from their mouth, it immediately goes into the hearts of the listeners, and then they have smurti of Radha Krishna within their heart. The other type of preachers are those who are speaking to remind themselves. So you should be one of those. You're not speaking for anyone else, you're speaking only to remind yourself about the qualities of these Vaishnavas and whatever is being written in the scriptures. Srila, it is quite strange, I was just thinking this morning, that in the pranam mantra of both Sri Haridas Thakur and also Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj ji, the first sentence talks about that Sriman Mahaprabhu is their master. It is so interesting. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Namami Haridasam Tam Chaitanya Tattacha Prabhum Sanstitami Yan Murti Swa Ange Kritva Nanartiya. This is the pranam mantra of Sri Haridas Thakur. That I pay pranams to that Sri Haridas Thakur, who is the embodiment of humility and whose master is Sriman Mahaprabhu. That Mahaprabhu who carried the body of Sri Haridas Thakur within his hands, and he danced in the middle of the courtyard. A similar thing, not a similar thing, but a similar word is found in the pranam mantra of Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj ji, because he translated both Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the commentary of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, from Bengali to Hindi. It was a voluminous task. So when he completed both of these translations, he said, my job is done. This was my biggest service, to translate the commentary of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Pada on these two books especially. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kripaya Kavittaha Ya Maryada Rakshati Vaishnavanam Kripavalam Madhav Preshtakami Shri Bhakti Dham Bharati Mashraya. This is the pranam mantra, written by whom I don't know. I asked Sri Padmada Priya Prabhu, who wrote this? Prabhuji said that I wrote this. So I asked, what's the meaning? He said, I don't know. I said, if you've written the pranam mantra, you must know the meaning. He said, I have forgotten. So Sri Padmada Priya Prabhuji is like this. He hides a lot of things. He does not reveal. So Sri Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj's pranam mantra says, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kripa Ekavittaha. The wealth of Sri Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj ji is the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu. There are various definitions of wealth in the world, but the wealth of the Vaishnavas is the mercy of the Acharyas. The mercy of Guru Parampara is the actual wealth. So if we're able to attain even a dint or even a tinge of that within our lifetimes, we can call ourselves spiritually wealthy. Ya Maryada Rakshati Vaishnavanam. The second beautiful quality of Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj is that he was able to bring the importance of Vaishnava Seva on the forefront, which was always there. Vaishnava Seva was always there as a very, very important activity for devotees. But the way Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj brought it on the forefront. These tithis, these celebration days, disappearance and appearance days, they would come and go before. But now after he brought it out that if you do not honor the Vaishnavas on the disappearance and appearance days, it's an offense. It's an offense not to honor them because you're part of the Guru Parampara. And if anyone's appearance and disappearance is coming, you must honor them. Someone asked him a question, if I don't know about them, if I have not read about them, if it's the very first time I've heard about their name, what should I do? He said, just simply say their name. Haridas Thakur ki jai. This is celebration. If you know, then for sure you speak. If you don't know, you see in the calendar. And if you don't know anything about them, at least chant their names, because their names and their personalities are not different. Once Srila Gurudev was asked this question, that the names of Krishna and Krishna is not different, right? So is the name of Lalita Sakhi and Lalita Ji is different or non-different? Gurudev said non-different. If you say Shri Lalita Sakhi, if you say Shri Vishakha Sakhi, if you say Shri Rup Manjari, they are within their names. Because they have Swagata, Sajatiya Bhed, their bodies and their names are not different. And then someone said, if I say Srila Gurudev, he said non-different. If I say Srila Prabhupada, non-different. So their names and their bodies are not two separate entities, it's one. Similarly, if we do not even know the glories of these personalities, but we must develop a habit of every day whenever we get up in the morning, we should see the Vaishnava calendar. Our day should start off with looking at the Vaishnava calendar. That's how Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj would start off his day. He would start off his day first thing in the morning. He would look at whose tithi is this. And whosoever tithi is there, he would start off, today is a very, very special day. It's a very special tithi. For us, it may not be. For us, maybe Janmashtami, Radhashtami, our Gurudev's appearance, disappearance is very exciting, right? But the other Vaishnavas, yeah, they're fine, but they're not that close to us. But for someone who has developed the relationship with the entire Guru Parampara, each and every day brings so much of joy and happiness within their hearts. So he was always very, very excited to talk about these. So he brought the service of the Vaishnavas. First, he brought out the whole conception of who is a Vaishnava. And then he talked about Vaishnava Seva. Serving the devotees is the only way to develop the attachment to the holy name. Holy name is transcendental. One of his famous shlokas, as we all know, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahim Indriya Sevamevi Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahim Indriya Sevan Mukho Hi Jivare Swayamep Sugat Adaha. That the holy name of Krishna is not different from him. But when we are chanting the names of Krishna, we are not realizing Krishna. There must be a trick. Srila Bhakti Thakur is also writing at the beginning of Navdeep Mahatmya that devotees are chanting name for many, many years, but then don't ask themselves, why am I not feeling the happiness? If scriptures are saying that the name and Krishna is not different, either scriptures are exaggerating or we are doing something wrong. So Bhakti Thakur says that devotees must take out time to consider that why it's not happening. Why? Because the missing element is service of the devotees. The missing element is the service to those Vaishnavas who have developed love and affection for the name. So Vaishnava Seva is something which he brought on the forefront. Made everybody realize the importance of Vaishnava Seva. And he didn't say it. He was the embodiment of Vaishnava Seva. He himself was Vaishnava Seva personified. The third thing in his pranam mantra says, Kripa avalam madhav prishtakami. It is always seeking the mercy of his spiritual master, Nityalila Pravishna Bhakti, Dvait Madhav Goswami Maharaj. Always seeking the mercy. Always seeking the mercy of his spiritual master. All of his activities were directed towards the pleasure of his spiritual master. That's how one-pointed he was. And I'll illustrate it by a few examples. I just gave you some of the idea or translation of his pranam mantra. So Kripavalam, Madhava Preshtakami, someone who's always eager, always anxious, like a child looking towards the Father. A child is always looking towards the Father. Similarly, as a disciple, he's always looking towards his spiritual master to give me that merciful glance which I have been waiting for a long time. Like that sort of greed. Kripavalam Madhava Preshtakami, Shri Bhakti Dham Bharati Mashraya. So I take shelter of that Shri Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Gosvami Maharaj, who is the embodiment of all these wonderful qualities. There are a couple of things which I want to touch upon. About number one, he would always say one thing. He said, in my life, I have never talked frivolously. I've never spoken, frivolously, Whenever I would speak with a lot of gravity. Okay, why you don't speak frivolously? He said, because I've never associated with someone who's frivolous. In my entire life, I have not associated even for a moment with someone who talks as chit-chatter. No, he was very, very grave. But at the same time, he was full of affection. So much of affection would ooze out from his eyes. Beautiful, 6 feet, with a cane in his hand. And his glasses, were down. He just, his glasses were not like fitted. He would look at this, and whenever anyone would go to him, it would feel like that he's piercing through your body. He's piercing through all the gross and subtle matters. And he would look at that person, and especially when devotees are taking prasad. When devotees are taking prasad, he would come out of his room, and he would look at them. Srimad Madhava Prabhu would say, why do you, look at devotees like this? Devotees will take prasad. It's all arranged. He said, no. He said, I feel happy when I see devotees are partaking prasad. They may not know the impact of taking Krishna prasad, but I am seeing that these souls are getting delivered. These souls are on their way back to Godhead. These souls, there is a sense. He was 90 years old. There was so much of enthusiasm. He would just come at the door, and he would look at all the devotees taking prasad. He would, feel very, very happy about it. His last words, we were in Haridas, because when he left, we were there. I think maybe a week or two ago, maybe a 15, 20 minutes class which he gave. And this was like one of the most important factors, one of the most important characteristics of his, is a constantly speaking Hari Katha. Constant Hari Katha. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was asked this question by someone, that how are you? How are you feeling? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada said, I'm fine, my body is fine. Just like Haridas Thakur is saying. Sustha hoye sharir mor, but asustha hoye man. My body is good, but my mind is not good. So someone asked Srila Prabhupada, why you are saying your mind is not feeling good? He said, my devotees don't let me speak Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, they don't let you speak Srimad Bhagavatam. You speak for 22.5 hours in a day. 22 and a half hours in a day you speak. He said, over 22 and a half hours are less for me. Brahmaji gave 24 hours in a day. That's not enough for me. Why? Because the knowledge which I have brought, the words which I have brought from the spiritual world, cannot be contained in hours. It cannot be contained in minutes. And similarly, Srila Bhakti Raksha Srila Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj would say, just like a child who takes birth in a family. A child who takes birth in a family, he's being nourished by mother and father, right? But apart from mother and father, there are many other more relatives who develops child's character, like the uncles, the aunts, the family, and the society. Similarly, he said, I took Diksha mantras from my Guru Pad Padma. I received the initiation mantras from my Guru Pad Padma, but I received so many Shiksha mantras from all the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He was the encyclopedia, literal encyclopedia. He would remember everything of whatever happened 70 years ago. This was the train. That was the time. If someone would say the train is at 11 o'clock, he said, no, it's at 10:45, at 10:50. He would know even this much. 45 years ago, we traveled this place. That was his memory. And there are two similarities between one similarity between Sri Bhakti Vallabh Tirth Maharaj Ji and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ji is that Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirth Maharaj Ji, from their mutt, they published a book on all the associates of Srimad Mahaprabhu, right? And Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ji, he published a book in which there are pastimes, leelas, or instructions of all the associates of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So these are the two greatest gifts. If anyone wants to know our parampara, if anyone wants to know the unlimited glories of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Prabhupada Ji's army chief commanders, they must read the beloved masters. You would feel proximity so much with them because, and he said that I am telling all these things now, some of the things I don't even remember, because my memory is not that sharp. So during his later stages, he spoke all those things. So one time, he was in Mayapur and he went to have darshan of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj Ji. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj Ji was not feeling well, during that time. He went there. The servant of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj Ji, he came out and said, Guru Maharaj is not well and he is not allowed to speak. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj Ji, he heard that there's some whispering going on outside. He said, who is this? He said, oh, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj Ji has come. Oh, let him in. Let him in. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj Ji came in, sat on the floor, and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ji said to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj Ji that you should not speak, because doctors have advised you not to speak. If you speak, you will become unwell. Because speaking too much, in Yoga Shastra it is mentioned, in the yogic scriptures mentioned, that when you speak, 72,000, all the veins of your body, they work at the same time. When you walk, only the veins of the legs work. When you are moving your hands, only the veins of the hands work. But speaking is like giving your life. That's what the yogis don't speak. Yogis stay quiet. But devotees, they don't stop speaking. The opposite. Yogis, they're just quiet all night. That's why they have long lives. But what is the use of a long life? What is the use of a long life if I'm not going back to Godhead? One of our acharyas, Sri Bhakti Prakash Aranya Goswami Maharaj Ji, he was giving Srimad Bhagavatam Sapta. And in that, the pastime of the gopis came, the 5 chapters of the 10th canto. He was singing Gopi Geet, and while saying Jayati Dedikam Janmana Braja Sharad Indira Shashvatatrihi Daida Dishritam Dikshritavaka, the moment he said the first shloka, he gone. On the Vyasasana. So this is the perfect way of leaving body. I can leave body at any time, right? But what is the guarantee I'll be able to chant the names of the Lord? So what is the use of a very, very, big, very expansive age, and then you are quiet? So he said that you should not speak. Why? The doctors have advised you not to speak. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj said, oh, they don't know that we are Saraswati Putra. We are sons of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Doctors don't know that if we don't speak, then we become unwell. It's not that when we speak, when we stop speaking, we feel anxiety. When we stop speaking, we don't feel good. So we constantly have to speak. And this was the last instruction of Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ji in our Faridabad Math. He said, now I will leave at any time. He was sitting in the chair. Now I'll leave at any time. So my instructions to all of you, only 15-20 devotees were there. It was a very impromptu kind of class. It wasn't planned. He said, now I'm about to leave. I can leave at any time, right? My final instructions to all of you, and I'm sure not for us, it's for everybody. When acharyas speak, it is not an individual instruction. It's majorly a universal instruction. So now I'm about to leave. My instruction to all of you, do not spend even one muhurat, 48 minutes without speaking Harikatha. Do not spend even 48 minutes without speaking Harikatha, because this is the golden opportunity which you all have received. Because if you constantly are going to speak here, be engaged in service, you will be elevated. You will be elevated. Some of us, not me, but some of will go back to Godhead, Because if you're constantly engaged in speaking Harikatha, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Chitra Maharaj mentioned to him specifically. Srila Bhakti Goswami said that I received many mantras from all the disciples of Prabhupada. The mantra which I received, the instruction which I received from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Chitra Maharaj was that you always be Ugra Shava. Ugra Shava means always be an attentive listener. Always sit at the lotus feet of someone. And always be attentively listen to Harikatha. He said, what if I don't have someone who speaks? What if there is no speaker? He said, then you become the speaker. So there are two ways to live life. One passive way to live life, one active way of live life. The passive way of living life is sit, remain quiet, and let the thoughts of Maya attack you all the time. Maya is going to come. Maya is where? Maya is all inside, not outside. Outside is nothing. Outside world is just a reflection of my own consciousness. So Maya will come in different forms, shapes and sizes to attack you. So what you're supposed to do? You should not sit passively. What to do? You should be active enough to stand up and you attack Maya. So how can I attack Maya? I'm an insignificant soul, drowning in the ocean of this material world. How can I attack Maya? He said, you stand up and you speak Krishna Katha. This was the instruction of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Chitra Maharaj. You stand up and you say Krishna, you chant the names of Krishna, you speak Krishna Katha. That is the only way for you to lift your consciousness. He said that is one instruction which I received from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Chitra Maharaj. So this was the final instruction which he gave when he was there. The other quality which I want to mention of his, that he was absolutely nishkinchan. No desire at all from anyone. Nothing. Shri Kunti Devi speaks in the 8th chapter of the first canto about Krishna. Namo nishkinchan vittaya nivritta guna vittaya atma ramaya shantaya kaivalya pataye nama. Hey Krishna, you are the wealth of those who do not possess anything except you. Who consider you to be the only wealth. You are the wealth of those. And Srila Bhakti Goswami Maharaj was the personification of this particular verse. He was the personification of this verse. One time what happened, there was some person from America. He came. And he wanted to have initiation from him. He heard from someone. He Googled it on Facebook. He heard about Srila Bhakti Goswami Maharaj. So he came. And he said, Maharaj, I would like to take initiation from you. He was not greedy for disciples at all. He said, just like a woman when she gives birth, this labor pain, I don't have that type of pain to make disciples. I'm not like greedy and thirsty to make disciples. So this person came to him. He said, I want to become a disciple. Many of, it was, oh, okay, very nice. He said, why do you want to become my disciple? He said, because I've heard about you, I've heard from my mother, about you. He said, do you have faith in me? Do you have faith in me that I'll be able to take you back to Godhead? Do you have that much of faith in me? He said, no. He said, when you have that much of faith, then come to me. Not now. I am not in a rush to make you a disciple. Oh, you have come from America, white skin. You will bring dollars for me. He mentioned that. You will bring dollars for me. Let me make him a disciple. He said, I'm not like this. I'm not like, oh, he's a white-skinned person, he must have lots and lots of dollars. Okay, let me make him. I'm not like this. I'm nishkinchan. In fact, when Sripad Madhavpuri Prabhuji asked him, because we were there at that time, he asked him, because he was in the hospital. The hospital was right next to our mutt, nearby. He said, take me back to the mutt. The doctors did not allow him to go to the mutt. He said, no, because the facilities which are here in the hospital cannot be given in the mutt. He said, so one doctor came to him. He said, doctor, send me home. He didn't answer him. Then he asked Prabhuji that, ask him, why aren't they sending me home? He said, we would not be able to manage the health. The facilities in the hospitals are easily available. There's so many nurses coming in this and that, we won't be able to manage. He said, tell them we don't have money. Tell them we don't have money. He said, I can't say this if we don't have money. They'll say he's a sadhu, we're not going to charge him. Okay, tell them that we're going to a bigger hospital. Your hospital does not have the facility. Your hospital does not have all the medication and diagnosis and tests which is needed Your hospital does not have that. So which bigger hospital he was talking about? He said, my bigger hospital is taking me back to the mat. That is the hospital. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that mat is a hospital where everybody is diseased. It's not a place of perfected people. Maybe some of you are. Don't take offense. Some of might be. But generally, everybody is diseased. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said that mat is a place where all the diseased people come. Some are, someone is, critically ill. Someone is getting better. Someone just arrived thinking that he's all good. Different types of people. So he says that mat it's not a Gaudiya mat, it's a Gaudiya hospital. These are the words of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Just like if you go to the hospital, right? And there's so many beds, right? Patients are sleeping and crying or saying, oh, I'm not good. So if one patient is getting better and if he sees the other patient who is critically ill, what will he say? Oh, you're going to die very soon. Do you know that? No. What will he say? You'll get better. Patients they have empathy towards. There's sympathy. Mataji was saying the other day, Ashtaki Mataji, sympathy and empathy. So you have empathy towards. Then no problem, you will be fine. Doctors are also showing so much of empathy. You will get better. You will get better. Similarly, Gaudiya mat is like this, where everybody is diseased. So we have come here to cure ourselves. So he said that, take me to the bigger hospital. So the bigger hospital was taking him to Sri Radha Madhav Gaudiya mat. He was brought back to the mat. Many people ask, he lives, because Faridabad, Vrindavan is like 2 hours, now even less, 2 hours away. So ideally, an acharya like him would want to go to Vrindavan, right? Take me to Vrindavan. Take me at the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. It's easy. It was easy. In Gopinath Bhavan, all the arrangements can be made instantaneously. The devotees were waiting for him to come to Vrindavan. So he was asked, do you want to go to Vrindavan? What would be the ideal answer? Yes. Ideally would be, take me to Vrindavan. Why would I want to leave my body, But I'm so close to Vrindavan. He said, no, I don't want to give any inconvenience to anyone. Because if I go to Vrindavan, devotees have to make so many arrangements for me. They have to make so many arrangements. I came to serve devotees, not to take service from them. I came to the mat, not to serve Krishna. I came to the mat to serve devotees. This is the instruction which I received from Sri Bhakti Sarang Goswami Maharaj. He said, I did not come. He said, I could have served Krishna anywhere. I could have served Krishna anywhere. Krishna can be served anywhere. But I came to the mat for what? Only to serve not Krishna, but Karshna. Karshna means the devotees. Devotees are so rare in the world. So rare. So I came in the mat for all this. There is another instance of his Nishkinchanta, that how he did not possess anything. Just like Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj said that, in the name of what I possess in this society, in the name of what I possess in this society is only my bhajan, nothing else. I do not own any temple. I do not own any external thing. The only thing which I own is my own nam bhajan, is my own service. The rest is not mine. But I came for, that is my actual wealth. So Srila Bhakti Bharati Goswami Maharaj was the personification of this. He was, one time he was not feeling well. He was in Calcutta. So in Calcutta, devotees took him to the hospital. They did not have the money. But Maharaj had a purse in which he would keep all the money. He would never count. He would never count that money. He would just give it, and his sevaks would take care. He would never ask how much money has come and this and that. He would give it to his servants. So devotees were like, we don't have money, we're going to the hospital, what to do? Oh, let us open the purse of Maharaj. So they opened the purse of Maharaj. They took 500 pounds from the purse, took him to the hospital, deposited. He became well. After a couple of days, he came back. He said, who paid for this? He said, Maharaj, we did not have money. So, he said, we opened your purse. And then we got the money from there. You see, why did you ask me? He said, Maharaj, we did not have any option. But, we did not have any option. So that's where we took the money. He said that money was meant to serve devotees in Krishna, not me. That money was not meant for me. It was only meant to serve Krishna. So what you do, you have taken out the money, now you put it back. I don't care from where you get that money. Arrange that money, put it back from where you borrowed it, because that money was not mine. That money belonged to Krishna. He said, so somebody asked him that we would like, now so many disciples of yours wants you to have a big temple. We can open a big mart and you can, speak and people would come. He said, no, Prabhu, I don't want all this. Have a tin shed, just have a tin shed for devotees to have some shade. And I can speak there. It's enough. I don't need any of this at this age. I did not even want to become an initiating spiritual master for anyone. It was by the request of so many devotees and by the order of my Guru Maharaj. That is why I've taken this role of an acharya. Otherwise, if I wanted to be an acharya, that was something which I have done way back. I did not want to initiate anyone, but it was only the will of mine. So then someone asked him that, do you have any preference where you want to leave your body? He said, I have no preference. If Lord has written in my destiny that I leave my body under a tree, I'll do that. If Lord has written in my destiny that I will leave my body under a tree, I'll do it very happily. But I do not want to give any inconvenience to devotees. No inconvenience to devotees. He was serving all throughout his life, constantly and constantly. And one famous sentence of his, which is so important. When the sadhus come in our lives, many a times, because of the laid-back attitude that, we can associate with them later. Not now, tomorrow. I have some other things to do. He said, one of his famous sentences, avail the opportunity as it comes. You may not get it again. He was in the same hospital in Calcutta, and one of his personal servants, very dear personal servants, Sripad Narottam Prabhu, served him with his whole heart. He said that, Gurudev, we'll be back to the mutt in a few days. He said, do you see, this is not the Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Maharaj ji, which is known. I have never relaxed. I'm always running here and there and serving my Guru Maharaj. So you haven't seen that, but I can tell you, if I had the opportunity to stand up and serve devotees right now, I would run. But my body does not allow right now. So I am telling you that you are young. Avail the opportunity of service as it comes. Do not wait. Maya can give you many, many ideas. Oh, do it tomorrow, do it after. Do not wait. Avail the opportunity immediately. And he illustrated it by giving an example of many, many years ago. It was Narshing Chaturdashi in Calcutta Mutt. I have 5 more minutes. I'll end in 5 minutes. I want to just quickly also talk about
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Because Srila Bhakti Gosvami Maharaj ji, he was very fond of hearing the pastime of Haridas Thakur's Disappearance Srila. And it is not a coincidence. It is not it happened by chance. It's not a by chance thing that he disappeared on this particular day. So, to avail the opportunity, something very powerful which he narrated from his own life. He said, it was Narshing Chaturdashi. And in India, it's very, very hot at that time. In the month of May, it's like 42, 43 degrees, and fasting also. Yeah. So, he said, my Guru Maharaj, we were in Calcutta. So my Guru Maharaj said that it would be nice to do paran, to break the fast with the sweet rice of Bhagavan Narsingadev from Navadvip, from Haridas, from Narsinghpalli. It would be nice to have that sweet rice. His Guru Maharaj just mentioned this line. He was not giving instruction to anyone. He is in Calcutta. Calcutta about like 2.5, 3 hours, going to Navadvip at that time. He heard this, that my Guru Maharaj wants to have sweet rice to break the fast of Narshing Chaturdashi. He was not even wearing shoes. Many other devotees also heard. They did not take it seriously. He was like, avail the opportunity. Gurudev wants it. bare feet. He went out of the mud, got in the train or bus, empty stomach, because fasting is going on. Temperature 42, 43 degrees. In the train or in the bus, went all the way to Narshimpalli, offered sweet rice to Bhagavan Nrsingadev, took that sweet rice, came back to the mart around 7 o'clock. It was like a whole day journey with no water, in extreme heat, just to fulfill these words of his Guru Maharaj. Came all the way and gave it to his Guru Maharaj. His Guru Maharaj became very, very pleased. He was thinking that now I'll also break the fast with some prasad. After 7:30, when the Abhishek is done, I'll also break the fast. But the person who was in charge of the kitchen, he did not keep anything for him. Not even a single French fry, not even a single pakoda. He was told, I'm really sorry, whole prasad is finished. So first he's traveling all throughout the day. When he came, he said, nothing is there for you to eat. He said, that's even more great. It's a blessing in disguise. Generally, we do fasting of Nashi Chaturdashi till evening, right? So by the blessing of my Guru Maharaj, the result of my service is that I'll have the opportunity to fast all throughout the night. I'll fast all throughout the night. That is only happening by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. So this is like avail the opportunity. He would often say that whenever the opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas come, do not delay. And he would say, service means what? We talk about serving Vaishnavas. There's an article of his in which he talks about what is real service and how do we know that we are serving. What is the effect of service? There must be some tangible impact. There must be something which we can feel that I'm serving, right? He mentioned the shloka from the 7th chapter of the 2nd canto. Sarvatma ashuto yadi nivarre likam saesha bhagavan dayeda anantaha. He said, what is the effect of service? This is mentioned in the 2nd canto. I think 2nd canto, 7th chapter. Yeah, right. He said, what is service? And what is the effect of service? He said, when one offers oneself fully, without any duplicity, without holding anything back, when offers oneself fully at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, what is the first impact of that? The Lord makes him realize the temporary nature of the material world. The first realization a devotee gets is that the material world is temporary. Until that is realized, it's all wishy-washy. Realize means you have now come to the understanding the purpose of my life is to do Hari Bhajan. And that will come when? By service. Without service it cannot come. Conceptually it can be there. In words it can be there. But in heart it does not have the impression. So he says that Sarvatma Ashuto Yadi Nivaralikam, if one without duplicity offers everything to the Lord, offers means whatever one possesses. And Bharati Maharaj would always say the 3 things which we possess. Prana, Artha, Dhiya, Vacha. Our life, our money, Arth, Dhiya means intelligence, and our words. So if you can offer your prana, everything is offered. No, I don't want to give my prana. I don't want to give my life. Okay. Then give whatever little you possess. No, I don't want whatever I possess, I'll keep it with myself. Okay. Then give some of your intelligence. Yeah, that's fine. And if you cannot even give your intelligence, give some of your words. At least start off by glorifying them. Even if the real mood of surrender has not risen in the heart, at least start off with tongue. Start off with tongue, and that will actually have an impact. So the first thing he said, that when one would offer oneself to the Lord will reciprocate with that person. How? By making you realize the temporary nature of the material world. It's a realization. In the 5th canto, Bhagavan Rishabdev says to his 100 sons when he's distributing his wealth, not like the wealth of property and signing and all that stuff. He's distributing the wealth of his bhajan, and he says that those who have not realized or who do not want to realize the temporary nature of the material world, even if the Upanishads, the scriptures, they appear in their form, If the Upanishad personified comes in front of a person and tells them that the world is temporary, they would not understand because they're not ready. But if someone is realizing, you know what, my stay here is temporary. I'm not going to be here for too long. My time is getting up. That person, one who has awakened, would be able to wake someone up. Naradji says in Bhakti Sutra, "Tinasya tarayanti." The one who knows how to swim will be able to save the one who is drowning. The one who has learned the act of how to swim would be able to save the person who is drowning. So these Vaishnavas, they keep on coming over and over again to give us so many instructions. They're so powerful, so radiating. He was so beautiful. He was actually so beautiful. So very big figure, and with his cane in his hand, he looked so royal. His walk was so royal. When he would go, everybody would just become shh. Someone has actually descended from the spiritual world. So I'll just take a few moments to speak about the disappearance of Sri Haridas Thakur, which was very dear to him. Very dear to him. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Dayamaya Jaya Advaita Priya Jaya Nityananda Priya Jaya. Then all glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Lord Chaitanya, who is the embodiment of mercy. All glories to Advaita Acharya and all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Then he says that after glorifying all the devotees of Srimad Mahaprabhu, he talks about one day, Govind Sevak, he comes to Sri Haridas Thakur. Govind kahe ut asi karil bhojan. Govind Sevak says, Hey Haridas Thakur, I have brought the prasad for you from Jagannath Bhagwan, take it. Haridas kahe ami karimu langhan. Haridas Thakur says, No, I cannot take this prasad. He says, why you can't take prasad? Oh, today I have not completed my rounds. I have not chanted my rounds, so I will not take prasad. But now I have this dilemma, whether I should take prasad, because if I take prasad, it would not be right because I have not fulfilled my number of rounds. But I cannot even disregard prasad. So he takes little prasad. Next morning, Srimad Mahaprabhu comes to him. Mahaprabhu says, Hey Haridas, what's the news? What's happening? Haridas Thakur says, Sharira sastha hai mora asastha hai mana. My body is fine, but my mind is not good. Prabhu kahe ki vyadhi. What's the problem? Taraka nirnaya. Decide what's the problem. Haridas kahe sankhya kirtan na puraya. My prescribed number of rounds is not completed. Then Mahaprabhu says, Oh, why do you have to do all these things? You're a perfected personality. You have attained perfection. Then Haridas Thakur says, Hey Prabhu, Hina jati hina janma ninda kalevara hina karma rati mui adham pamar asprishya adrishya angikar kaila rorav narak haite vaikuntha chadaila. He says this Haridas is born in a very low class of family. My body is born in a low class of family. And in fact, my intelligence is always absorbed in material affairs. Hey Lord Chaitanya, what have you done to me? I am not qualified at all. I should not be even seen. Not only I should be seen, you should not even come closer to my shadow. But then you are giving your darshan to me. You are coming and you're placing your hands on my body. What have you done? I was right in the most lowest hellish planet called Rorav. You have pulled me out from that planet and have placed me in Vaikuntha. Mahaprabhu says, Oh, this is fine. All good, very nice. I know this is a genuine humility of yours. But then I have one desire. I want to leave my body before you wind off your pastimes. Mahaprabhu says, well, if Krishna is merciful, he'll do it. I cannot do it. You pray to Krishna that you want to leave your body before me. And he says something very beautiful by our at that time. Hridaya karimu tomar charan kamala. Nayana dekhimu tomar chandra vadana. Jivha ucharilo Krishna Chaitanya Nama. Ei mat mora Prabhu chadil parana. I want to leave my body. How? First I want to bring your lotus feet within my heart. Okay. And then I want to see your beautiful face. And I want to cherish the beauty of your face. And what about the tongue? My tongue should constantly chant Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu, this is my very humble desire in which I want to leave my body. Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe je tumi magibo. Whatever you ask, Krishna kripa mai avashya karibo. I cannot do this, but Krishna is very, very merciful. He will do it for you. But there is one thing, Haridas, you are doing wrong. There is one thing which you are doing wrong. Haridas Thakur says, what am I doing wrong? He said, ke tumi yogya nahe ama sang chhadiba, that the happiness which I perceive when I am in your association. Ama sab kichu sukh toma sang laiya. All my happiness is because of you. And now you are leaving me. This is not right. This is not. Then Haridas Thakur says, Prabhu, why are you cheating me? Hey Prabhu, don't cheat me like this. Hey Prabhu, na vistar kariya tav maya. Don't expand your maya upon me. Just fulfill this desire of mine. Then this day came in which Haridas Thakur, he left his body. He had Mahaprabhu sat right in front of him. Haridas nijagre Prabhu basaila. Prabhu sat in front of him. And what he did, his two eyes were like bumblebee. Nija mukha, Nija dvanda, driga netra, padma mukha dila. He placed his eyes, which are like bumblebee, placed on the beautiful form of Srimad Mahaprabhu. Swahirdayani tava charana kamala. He brought his lotus feet in his heart. And the tears were constantly flowing from his eyes. And he started chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. He immediately closed his eyes, and while chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nama Ucharila, Nama Sahita Prana Karila Utrekshana. When he was chanting Krishna Chaitanya, immediately life air, it came out of his body. The immediate life air came out of his body. Everybody said, Sarva Bole Jaya 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 Haridas. So they go, oh. What sort of passing is this? It reminds us the pastime of Bhishma Dev leaving his body. The Mahaprabhu became so happy. What he did? Prabhu Kaila, Sri Anga. Mahaprabhu took his body, placed it in his lap, and Angane Nachiba Premavishta Harila. Mahaprabhu was dancing with his body, carrying his body, and dancing in the Angan. And while he was doing all this, then they took his body, as you just mentioned, to the ocean. So they took his body to the ocean. Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe samudra ayam mahatirth hoyla. This is not an ocean anymore. This has become mahatirth. Anyone who would take bath in this would definitely receive the mercy of Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu himself started going and begging from the market in Jagannath Puri. He said, give me alms, give me alms. People started giving so much of rice and so much of rice. Mahaprabhu was carrying that. The Sarup Damodar said, no, Prabhu, don't carry this much. And then he asked those donors, only give little, only give 25%, keep rest with you. Then Mahaprabhu says, after this whole festival of Haridas Thakur, Mahaprabhu gave one falshruti, and I'll end here. Mahaprabhu gave one falshruti. It's the fruit of hearing this pastime. It's the fruit of those who were being there at that time. Mahaprabhu says, Haridas Vijay Utsav Je Kaila Darshana Je Kaila Nritya Je Kaila Bhojana. Anyone who has seen this passing of Haridas Thakur, anyone who has danced in this assembly, anyone who has partaken the prasad of this, anyone who has taken a handful of dust and offered in the samadhi of Haridas Thakur, Achire sabakare Hoye Krishna Prapti, Haridas Darshane, Hoye Shakti. So I am giving blessings to all those, not just the current people who are here, not just those who are right here this moment. I am giving this blessing to all those of all the future generation. Anyone who would hear this particular pastime would definitely have Krishna Bhakti very, very, very soon. Very soon he will have. That's the blessing given by Mahaprabhu. And if it's the falshruti given by Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, it cannot be an exaggeration by any point. It cannot be any exaggeration. So with these words, I wanted to offer just this little Krishna Bhakti Vijñāna. Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he specifically told me when I asked him one question in Delhi, and I'll end here. I said, how to overcome the material desires. He said, do two things. See what you eat and see what you speak. Only this. If your eating is fine and your speaking is fine, he said, looking into my eyes, half of the battle would be won. He was alone. He was with his cane. There was no one there. I found him. I said, Maharaj at the special. He looked at me. He said, half of the battle is won. But if you're going to eat whatever you like without offering, and if you're going to speak whatever you like and think you will be able to chant, it's not like this. There's a whole system, there's a whole process before chanting. What I'm doing, it affects my chanting. So it's not like I just pick up my round and start chanting, I'm unable to concentrate. Why? Because you were not doing any, there's a preliminary work which is being done. So if you're eating whatever you like, you're speaking whatever you like, and you pick up your mala, then all of whatever you were doing before will start coming. He said, watch out for what you eat and watch out for what you speak. Half of your battle with Maya will be over. So I'm also over. 9 o'clock. I pay my pranams to Nipad Padma, pay my pranams to Bhakti Vijñāna Bharati Goswami Maharaj, pay my pranams to Bhakti that Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and to the lotus feet of the entire Guru Parampara Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, unto the divine lotus feet of Sri Haridas Thakur, and to all the wonderful devotees of UK, probably because I'm actually going back in a few days. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak for these couple of days. And if, as Mahaprabhu said, that Krishna kripa karid diryachi tor sang, Krishna was merciful to me. He gave me association, and